Welcome to the Northwest Sports Fanatics YouTube channel. I am your host, Orion. Got a great show for you here today between the New York Mets and the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes, so let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Monday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, one of the best players in the game, left fielder Juan Soto. And on the right, the best center fielder in the game, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting New York Mets. Leading off for the Mets in right field, Carson Bench. Batting second, playing shortstop for New York, Bo Bichette. Batting third, playing left field, Juan Soto. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, Jared Young. Batting fifth, playing center field, A.J. Ewing. Batting sixth, playing DH, M.J. Melendez. Batting seventh, playing third base, Brett Beatty. Batting eighth, playing second base, Marcus Semien. And batting ninth, catching the day for New York, Luis Torrens. And on the mound for the Mets, with a 1-1 record, an ERA of 1.40, Austin Warren. And now let's get into the starting lineups for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, playing center field, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, playing first base, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Randy Rosarena. Batting fifth, playing right field, Luke Raley. Batting sixth, playing second base, Cole Clutch Young. Batting seventh, DHing for Seattle, Rob Refsnyder. Batting eighth, catching today for Seattle, Mitch Garver. And batting ninth, playing third base, Colt Emerson. And on the mound with a 4-2 record, ERA of 2.78, one of our aces, Emerson Hancock. Tridents up. Let's go, Ems. We're going for our 7th win in a row. And again, it feels pretty good. Back-to-back sweeps against the A's and the Diamondbacks. We have a 2.5 divisional lead, 2.5 games. And again, you know, it definitely feels that we've turned a corner, and hopefully we can stay hot in this 3-game series against the New York Mets. We're going to be shooting for 100 likes, 100 on the Dono train, and 5 to 15 subs. Let's get it, baby. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Callie in the building, what's good from Honolulu? I see you. Hawks in the building, what's good? Chris in the building. Mike in the building, what's good? Unfortunately, I had to go to the vet again for my pup, and the ear infection and whatnot that she had seems to have slightly come back. A little bit of head shaking, a little bit of scratching. So had to go to the vet and get some more medicine and whatnot. So not ideal, but again, I want my pup to, be in the best shape possible. And again, everything that we end up getting on the Dono train today will go towards that visit that I had earlier this afternoon. All right, we're just about ready to get set here for first pitch. So let me get situated here myself as well. right, Emerson Hancock warming up here on the mound. 4-2 record, ERA of 2.78. Obviously has been fantastic. And again, maybe, we didn't really expect a whole lot out of Hancock, but got a great opportunity since Bryce Miller was injured, early on, and really has made the most of this opportunity. And more than likely, if he can keep up the consistency, he'll be a part of the starting five moving forward, especially after this year, where more than likely Luis Castillo will not be on the team. But again, we may have another individual or two that will be, getting closer to starting with Ryan Sloan and Kate Anderson. First pitch there. Takes a strike looking high and outside. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away with a cutter. 83 miles an hour there by Hancock. 1 ball and 1 strike to Carson Bench. 1-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour there by Emerson Hancock. 1 ball and 2 strikes here early on with the Mets and the Mariners. One-two pitch, fouled off, out of play, high and away. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Emerson Hancock. Daniel in the building, what's good? Miles in the building, Rebecca in the building, what's good? 1-2 pitch, fouled off again. Pitch is high and away, 95 miles an hour there by Emerson Hancock. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Carson Bench. One-two pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Carson Bench. Bench in the box. Emerson Hancock on the mound. Two-two pitch, back all the way to the wall and gone. I thought so. But thankfully, Julio Rodriguez came up with it at the very last second. I thought, oh no, that's gone for sure. But luckily, it ends up going all the way back to the wall. Julio makes the play, and that is 1 away. I might be just used to us giving up those early home runs early on, but nice job there by Julio Rodriguez. And that is 1 up and 1 down. Don't scare me like that. Down goes Carson Bench. Next up is Bo Bichette, the former Blue Jay. First pitch, low and away. Sinker, 94 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Velasco in the building, what's good? 1-0 pitch, low and away with the sinker, 95 miles an hour. 2 balls and no strikes from Hancock to Bichette. Sometimes the camera angle, based on the video operators, will fool you a little bit as well. 2-0 pitch, little dribbler towards third base and foul. But thankfully, that did not leave the yard. And again, we want to make sure we get off to an early lead on this New York Met team, who, obviously started off terrible, but it started to kind of pick up a little bit of ground within the last few weeks. 1-2 pitch, 2-1 pitch. Takes a strike looking high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Hancock to Bichette. 2-2 pitch, popped up. Should be a routine play here for Julio Rodriguez. Shallow center field. Julio is staying busy. That is 2 up and 2 down. Nice job there by J-Rod. Next up, future Hall of Famer, left fielder Juan Soto, batting .305, 13 home runs and 29 ribbies, and has definitely been one of the top players in the league for quite a few years. First pitch, takes a strike looking low and away with a 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 0-1 pitch from Hancock. low and away. Cutter missing to Juan Soto. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the first inning, 0-0 here early between the Mets and the Mariners. We're on a 6-game win streak, sweeping the Athletics and the Diamondbacks, and it definitely feels good. 1-1 pitch popped up, and Randy Arozarena is there, and that is 3 up and 3 down. Good start there for the Mariners. Rick Riz, he loves it. 50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners, 40 plus years on the radio. And again, this is the year that he will be stepping away and retiring. So we dedicate every stream to the icon and the legend, Rick Riz. Now let's go to the bottom of the first inning and let's see if we can take a early lead like we have in quite a few games against the Athletics and the Diamondbacks. Let's continue the trend. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, playing center field, it's J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez. And batting third, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Shout out to all of our female viewership like Rebecca and many, many others, as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. I appreciate you very, very much. 52 subs to go to 24,200. Let's see where we're at on the like count here early on. Hopefully we'll be able to make a little bit of a dent here early. We got about 150 in the room. And looks like we're at 33. Good start. All right, 33 likes, 67 to 100. First pitch to J.P. Crawford, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. And Austin Warren, 1-1 record with an ERA of 1.40, so definitely looks like it might be a little bit of a challenge, based on that ERA, but again, we do hit righties well, so I'm not really too worried about it here this evening. 0-1 pitch, check swing. Did he go? And looks like he does go just enough around. Sweeper, 85 miles an hour there by Warren. No balls and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Lauren in the building. What's good? O2 pitch, a little more towards base and foul. Curveball, 85 miles an hour there by Warren. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0 here early between the Mets and the Mariners. O2 pitch, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Well, I assumed that it was going to be going out of the park, based off the camera angle, on Mariners TV, but luckily it went to the wall and Julio ended up getting it. Throw to first off the dribbler and ends up stepping off the bag and a little toe tap on the bag and a little bit of a tag with the glove on JP in the chest as well. And that is 1 up and 1 down. I got fooled by the camera angle early on, but luckily they did not hit a home run with Benj, and we still have a 0-0 game, but hopefully not for long. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. First pitch with the sinker. Ends up being a ball to Julio, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch. In there for a strike with the sweeper. First pitch, high and inside, 94 miles an hour. But Julio did not bite. Second pitch, beautiful sweeper in the zone, 85 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. 1-1 pitch almost hits Julio there in the stomach. He has to jump out of the way. Sinker 93 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. All the Rebeccas are in the building. 2-1 pitch. Low and away. Sweeper missing that time by Warren. 3 balls and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez, who had one of the best months in his career in May, with 10 home runs, and hopefully that trend will continue in June as well. 3-1 pitch from Warren. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. Sweeper 85 miles an hour there by Warren. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. Josh Naylor on deck. Julio calls time. Austin Warren on the mound. Julio Rodriguez in the box. Three-two pitch to Julio, and Julio pops it up, and it is fading out of play. Sweeper 86 miles an hour there by Warren. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, and 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0 here early between the Mets and the Mariners. And it's not like we really see the Mets, in Seattle at T-Mobile that often. Usually we're going to New York when we play them. So this will definitely be interesting. 3-2 pitch, hard hit ball by Julio, shallow center field, and it is caught, and that is 2 up and 2 down. Nice catch there by A.J. Ewing. Next up for the Mariners, in the 3-hole, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Let's go, Josh. Josh is definitely overdue for a home run. Missed it by about 6 inches on the top of the mat. There, obviously, in center field a few games ago, and hopefully Naylor will be able to get on base early and often. First pitch, 1-0 count. .0 pitch in there for a strike. Sweeper 84 miles an hour. 1 ball, 1 strike from Warren to Naylor. One pitch, high and away. Curveball 83 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike from Warren to Naylor. Where's game 1 being played at? Is it in San Antonio or New York? I believe it's in San Antonio, isn't it? 2-1 pitch, and a little dribbler towards first. Should be a routine play. Throw to first, toe tap on the bag, and that is 3 up and 3 down. Yeah, Cal actually was in the dugout late in the game, obviously against the Diamondbacks on that last game where we ended up getting the sweep. So obviously got a lot of hugs from a lot of the teammates, and ended up putting on the gear today. And ended up kind of practicing with some of the guys. Still may be a little bit, out there, time-wise for him to return. But just, getting the pads on and, kind of getting back with the team is a great sign. And hopefully we'll have Cal, Donnie, Carlos Vargas, and Miles Mastroboni around June 4th or June 5th. But if it ends up being later than that, then obviously we know that Cal and Donnie just aren't ready just yet. But, hopefully they will be at that time, but we don't want to rush them. All right, end of the first inning, 0-0 between the Mets and the Mariners. Let's go to the top of the second inning and see who's up next here for New York. Next up for the Mets in the 4-hole, first baseman Jared Young. Batting second in the 5-hole, center fielder A.J. Ewing. And batting third, DHing in the 6-hole, M.J. Melendez. And on the mound for the Mariners, one of our aces, probably the surprise, out of the starting 5 or starting 6 of the year. Obviously we know Castillo was the surprise of being worse than he already was, but I don't think anyone anticipated Hancock being this good. And obviously, Gilbert has disappointed as well. Hancock kind of flip-flopped with Gilbert based off record and ERA, and hopefully we can get Gilbert and Castillo to catch up slightly. But Emerson Hancock, 4-2 record, ERA of 2.78, and it's just nice to be able to have, quite a few guys that we can trust, with Hancock and Wu and Miller, and hopefully we can get Kirby back on point after losing his last 2 starts. And then obviously, Gilbert and Castillo are on the back end, but I still have a little bit more faith in Gilbert than I do with Castillo. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. 52 subs to go to 24,200. Gained a sub since the last commercial break. Appreciate you. 51 subs to go to 24,200. And first pitch, line drive, right to Cole Young. From one Young to another. And again, we get a Young combo. And again, we even get a third Young in this photo. Obviously, our first base coach. And a line drive to Cole Young. And we know how reliable Cole is. And that is one up and one down. Jolly in the building with a $5. Appreciate you. Thanks for getting us started. Jolly is a big Panther fan and a Met fan. Appreciate you. We're at 5 on the Dono train, 95 to go. First pitch is fouled off. Or seam fastball, 93 miles an hour, 0-1 count. One pitch fouled off right down the middle and towards left field by AJ Ewing. No balls and 2 strikes from Hancock to Ewing. O2 pitch fouled off again. 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour, high and inside. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the second inning, 0-0 here early between the Mets and the Mariners. 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Looks like he did. And another punch out there for M. And that is 2 up and 2 down. Joe in the building. What's good? Good start here for Emerson Hancock. Next up, in the 6th hole, DHing MJ Melendez. Jack in the building. What's good? First pitch is low and at the knees, 1-0 count. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. One-0 pitch. Low and in the zone, but it did not get the strike call. 2-0 count being challenged here by Garver, and this should get overturned. And it does. Good challenge there by Mitch Garver. You know, we know Pareda, was kind of hit or miss with some of his challenges in that Diamondback series, but off to a good start here with Mitch Garver in the 2nd inning, winning that challenge. Getting the call now reversed to 1 ball and 1 strike instead of a 2-0 count. 1-1 pitch to Melendez. Big swing and a miss with the cutter. 83 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the 2nd inning, 0-0 here early between the Mets and the Mariners. One-two pitch. Big swing and a miss. What a nasty curveball. Might have been one of the nastiest I've seen all year. Wow. That was incredible. And that is out number 3. Great job there by Emerson Hancock. A lot of movement on that curveball that fooled MJ Melendez. 3 up and 3 down. Good start here, but now we need to get on the board, hopefully early and often, and hopefully we can take a nice commanding lead sooner than later. Next up for the Mariners in the bottom of the 2nd, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Batting second in the 5-hole, right fielder Luke Raley. Part-time player, number 1 in home runs and RBIs for the Seattle Mariners. Let's let him play full-time. Come on, Dan. And batting third in the 6-hole, second baseman Cole Clutch Young. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. 51 subs to go to 24,200. Let's see where we're at on the likes. Here as we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. We got 222 in the room. And we're at 72. Good start. 72 likes, 28 to get to our first goal of 100. And we're still, we got our first dono on our dono train. We're at 5, 95 to go. Shout out to Jolly. Bottom of the second inning, approaching 0-0 Mets and Mariners. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Little bit of a mini heat wave, here in the Pacific Northwest. Anytime you can, end up hitting, the 80s or above at this point of the year, late May, early June, usually really the hot weather doesn't come for us until, the latter part of June, and then obviously July, August, and the first 2 weeks of September. It's a little warm, here today, and it's going to be a little warm tomorrow as well. I think it's going to be around low to mid 80s. For us at this time of the year, it's, kind of hot, but nothing to complain about. First pitch is low and away with the sweeper, 86 miles an hour, 1-0 count. But it definitely makes me have to wake up a little bit earlier to get those walks in for the pup. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking with the sweeper, 85 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike from Warren to Orosarena. And obviously I wasn't too thrilled with a lot of head shaking and a lot of scratching at her ear since we've already been to the vet twice within the last few weeks. And I made the call this morning just to make sure, that if we can get some more, medicine, anti-itch, medicine for her, I don't want anything to get worse. So, and Orosarena on the 1-1 pitch gets hit on the elbow, and he has been wearing that elbow guard with extreme padding for quite some time, and it does the job. Hit him right where the padding is, and Randy to first. And it looks like that is going to be it. And they're going to have a pitching change already. Wow. Austin Warren is already done, and we're only in the second inning. Sean Manaea is coming in. Pull up the photo here in time. All right, Austin Warren's day is done. All right, Luke Rayleigh is in the box, and since obviously it's such an early point in the game, obviously they're not going to switch out any of our guys, which is good. That would just be ridiculous if we, ended up pulling out, some of our lefty bats here. First pitch from Manaea there to Luke Rayleigh, in there for a strike looking, 0-1 count. James in the building, what's good? Oh, 1 pitch, takes another strike, high and away. Well, Colt Emerson's natural position is shortstop. So when, we end up getting Donnie back at third, I would assume that would mean that JP goes to the bench, and again, then you have Colt Emerson, starting, unless they, decide to have Colt, on the bench and they let JP play. This could potentially be JP Crawford's last year with the team, but again, if it's me and I'm managing the team, I put Colt there. So we have Cole and Colt right next to each other, Donnie at third and Naylor at first. And yeah, JP has played pretty good offensively, and big swing and a miss on a 1-2 pitch. and a punch out for Manea on Rayleigh, and that is 1 away. But again, JP has, been able to be the most patient hitter on the team. He's won a few games for us with home runs and RBIs, but he also has made the most mistakes. Julio had a lot of mistakes early on as well, but has cleaned it up. With JP still kind of making mistakes from time to time, and we'll have to kind of wait and see what they decide to do, unless they end up platooning JP for, let's say, for example, for lefties and maybe Colt Emerson for righties. I don't necessarily think that would be a good idea, but I guess it's a good problem to have quite a few players with just not enough spots for everyone. So 1-0 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Manea to Young. Two-0 pitch, little dribbler. And that is just foul. Bottom of the second inning, runner at first with 1 out. Manea on the mound. Cole Young in the box. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss with the sinker, 93 miles an hour, high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cole Clutch Young. Let's go, Cole. Runner goes, throw is high, and Randy is safe. He had a terrible jump, and the throw, if it was accurate, Randy would have been out by a mile, but the throw was off, and luckily Randy ends up getting in there and stealing that bag. Nice job, Randy. If you would have gotten a better throw by Terens, Randy would have been out, by who knows how many steps, 2, 3, 4. But nice hustle there by Randy, even though the jump wasn't that great. 3-2 pitch, high and inside, and Cole Young with the walk. Next up in the 7-hole, DHing Rob Refsnyder, and thankfully they've learned if they want Rob to play that he should never lead off. So, this is about where you need to put him in the lineup if you want him to play. But it doesn't really make any sense, having Rob DH, since he's probably our worst hitter, but again, they're just trying to be able to get as many bodies to be able to play, throughout this long season. But, I think I still would rather have, Dominic Canzone there, or maybe Victor Robles. I'd rather have Victor Robles if he's not going to be in right field. Give me Victor, especially after, the game-winning RBI, yesterday. Might as well have him there instead of Rob, but we'll see if Rob can come up big. We have been able to get a few hits, out of guys like Garver, Pareda, and Refsnyder lately, so hopefully Rob will get on at least once. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rob Refsnyder. One pitch, a little dribbler towards third. Can it be a double play? Throw to first, and it is. Not to say that, Victor Robles wouldn't have hit into a double play as well. It definitely is very possible anybody that you have there could have done that, but just not ideal. And Refsnyder hits into the double play, and that is out number 3. End of the second inning, 0-0 here early between the Mets and the Mariners. Next up in the 7-hole, third baseman Brett Beatty. Batting second in the 8-hole, second baseman Marcus Semien. And batting third in the 9-hole, catcher Luis Terens. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 51 subs to go to 24,200. We're at 5 on the Dono train, 95 to go. Shout out to Jolly. And let's see how close we are to 100 likes here early on. We're almost there. We're at 97. 3 more to get to 100. If we can get 3 people out of the 253 in the room, we'll be at 100, and then we'll be on our way to 200. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. No hits, no runs, no errors yet for both teams. Hancock, 2 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, no walks, 2 Ks, 24 pitches, 18 strikes with a 2.70 ERA. And then obviously with Warren, he pitched 1 inning, and then they had him exit. And now Manea obviously in with 1 walk and 1 K, 13 pitches and 7 strikes. So we'll see, how this ends up going, with the rotation for the Mets. Hopefully we can get Hancock to go a solid 6 or 7 innings. We definitely would need that. Keep our bullpen as fresh as possible. First pitch is high and inside with a 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, fouled off into left field, out of play. 4-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike from Hancock to Beatty. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 1-1 pitch, low and away. Good patience there by Beatty, not biting on that pitch with the changeup. 86 miles an hour, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. Top of the third, 0-0 here early between the Mets and the Mariners. 2-1 pitch, fouled off into left field, out of play. 4-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour by Emerson Hancock. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the third, 0-0 here early between the Mets and the Mariners. And that is strike 3. There we go. Nice job there by Emerson Hancock. We love that. Nice job, Em. Down goes Beatty. Next up, second baseman in the 8-hole, Marcus Semien. First pitch right down the middle with a 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch, low and away with a sweeper, 77 miles an hour, missing maybe by a half inch. 1 ball and 1 strike to Marcus Semien. 1-1 pitch, fouled off into right field, out of play. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Emerson Hancock. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the third, 0-0 here early between the Mets and the Mariners. One-two pitch, low and at the knees. Good eye there by Semien. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Marcus Semien in the box. Emerson Hancock on the mound. 2-2 pitch, tried to jam him. Little blooper into left field. Colt Emerson is there. And that is 2 up and 2 down. Love having reliable defensive players that I can trust. Semien flies out to left, closer to third base. And that is 2 up and 2 down. Next up in the 9-hole, catcher Luis Torrens. First pitch in there with a strike looking. Sinker, 95 miles an hour, right down the middle, 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. Sinker, 95 miles an hour, missing there by Emerson Hancock. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the third, 0-0 here early between the Mets and the Mariners. 1-1 pitch. Nasty sweeper. He's got a lot of movement on his curveball and his sweeper today. Emerson Hancock. I mean, it starts off kind of, going right and then just kind of crashes in left. And obviously with the curveball, starts up really high and then drops really low. And I like the movement I'm seeing here early. 1-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Hancock to Terrence. Another sweeper missing just by a few inches there. 77 miles an hour there by Emerson Hancock. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Unbelievable. And the movement on his pitches today are some of the best that I've seen all year. That was incredible. Another big swing and a miss on a sweeper. And that is the end of the top of the third inning. Nice job, M. And obviously being a, former first-round pick from Georgia, we didn't really know if he was ever going to pan out. Was definitely kind of on the Castillo level, for a number of years. But when Bryce Miller got hurt, he got an opportunity to start, and he's definitely, improved quite a bit. And it's just great to be able to see a player, kind of struggle early on and then finally figure it out. Let's go to the bottom of the third inning and let's get on the board. What do you say? Next up for the Mariners in the 8-hole, catcher Mitch Garver. Let's go, Mitch. Batting second in the 9-hole, third baseman Colt Emerson. Let's go, Colt. And batting third, back at the top of the order, 0 for 1, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Tridents up. Let's go, Ems. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 51 subs to go. To 24,200. We're at 5 on the Dono train. 95 to go. And we should be over 100 likes now. Let's see where we're at. And we are at 118. Thank you so much. $82 to $200. All right, come on, Garver. And you never really know, how any game is really going to go with the Mariners. I mean, besides the last 6, on this win streak, we had a kind of a feeling where we were trending. But again, it feels good to be a couple games above 500, but, we're definitely hungry for more. First pitch is high and inside, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees, back-to-back sweepers, 76 and 74 miles an hour. High and low and at the knees, 2 balls and no strikes from Manea to Garver. 2-0 pitch, high and away. Great patience there by Mitch Garver. Sinker 92 miles an hour, missing, high and away. 3 balls, no strikes to Mitch Garver. Take the walk, Mitch, if it's there. 3-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking right down the middle with a 4-seam fastball there from Sean Manea. 3 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the third inning, 0-0 here early between the Mets and the Mariners. 3-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss there by Garv. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mitch Garver. Come on, Mitch. Three-two pitch from Manea. And Garver pops it up and out of play. Count still is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mitch Garver. Come on, Mitch. Three-two pitch. And Garver pops that one out of play behind the plate. Three-two pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Garver. Nice punch out there from Manea. 4-seam fastball, 92 miles an hour, high and away, and that is 1 up and 1 down. Down goes Garver. Let's see if Colt Emerson can start us here today. In the box in the 9-hole, third baseman Colt Emerson. On deck is J.P. Crawford. First pitch in there to Colt. Takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch from Manea. Hard hit ball, deep right field. Back, gone! Let's go! Colt Emerson doing everything that we know that he can do as a phenom of 20 years old. Solo dinger to right field. Incredible. 1-0 Mariners. Try dance up. Let's go M's, baby. I love seeing our young guns, with Young and Emerson. We've been obviously talking about how bad we wanted them on the roster, right? And that's the reason why, offense and defense. And again, he's a better hitter than Cole Young. They're both great at defense. And again, great sign of things to come in this game. That's the first home run. And usually when we get one within the first 3 innings, that usually leads to a second, sometimes a third, and even a fourth. 0-1 pitch, high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Manea to Crawford. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Starting it off with the sweeper, 74 miles an hour, and then a sinker, 92 miles an hour. 1-2 pitch, and a little dribbler towards third base and foul. But he's definitely going with the sweeper-sinker combo pretty often here early with Manea. But starting it off here with JP with a sweeper on pitch 1 and 3 consecutive sinkers. 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. Sweeper is low and away, 76 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Manea to Crawford. Let's go, baby. Two pitch, and that is strike 3 looking. 2 up and 2 down. Down goes JP. Next up, 0 for 1. Center fielder, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Had the best month, home run wise in his career last month, hitting double digits, hitting 10. And the highest that he's ever hit in a month prior to that was 8 twice. So, again, this version of Julio Rodriguez is fantastic, and hopefully we'll get another, double-digit home run month here out of Julio Rodriguez. First pitch takes a strike looking high and inside, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and inside. Julio has to kind of jump out of the way slightly there and maneuver his body from getting hit. Cutter, 87 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. All day in the building, what's good? And a little dribbler right in front of the catcher. Throw to first, and that is out number 3. But not after. We end up finally getting on the board with Colt Emerson. And again, I just love being able to see Colt Emerson and Cole Young do their thing on offense and defense. And again, it's a nice blend of kind of OGs, vets, as well as some young guns. Still waiting for Ryan Sloan and Kate Anderson to join the team. Obviously not ready yet. And we can't, we're so excited. We can't wait until we end up getting Cal Raleigh and Brendan Donovan back, obviously, with the team with their injuries as well. But a great job there by Colt Emerson. Way to be, my guy. We love you. 1-0 Seattle. Way to get us off the schneid. Beautiful. 1-0 Seattle. Let's go to the top of the 4th inning and see who's up next here for the Mets. Leading off for the Mets, right fielder Carson Bench. Batting second, the former Blue Jay, shortstop Bo Bichette. And batting third, 0 for 1, left fielder Juan Soto. Tridents up, let's go M's. Rick Riz loves it. 2.5 game divisional lead, 6-game win streak, sweeping the A's and the Diamondbacks. And we love our icon and legend, Rick Riz. 51 subs to go to 24,200. And we gained another sub. Rick Riz loves it, as well as the NWSF. Thank you. Appreciate you. 50 subs to go to 24,200. We're at 5 on that dono train. 95 to go. And with almost 300 in the room, let's see how close we are to 200 likes. We're at 126. 74 to 200. Let's go. Dank in the building. What's good? First pitch from Hancock to Benj. High and inside with the sinker. 93 miles an hour. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Fouled off. High and away. Four-seam fastball. 94 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Hancock to Benj. Yeah, we can't talk about sweeps yet. We're in game number 1. We only can talk about sweeps, once we win the first 2 games, if we win the first 2 games. So, little dribbler towards first base. Naylor with a little bobble. Flip to Emerson Hancock just in time, and that is 1 up and 1 down. I mean, you don't want to jinx it. Now, it would be great, that we could end up sweeping 3 teams in a row. But let's be real. How hard is that in baseball? I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not easy, and hopefully, we do it. But again, so far so good here early on. But again, if we end up dropping a game, it'll probably be because of the bullpen, or our closer with Mooney. So unless the starter ends up having a meltdown, but hopefully that doesn't happen with us in this 3-game set. But so far so good. Emerson Hancock looking like a fucking all-star. Looking great out there. First pitch in there to Bo Bichette is in there for a strike. 0-1 count. Colt with a bolt, baby. 0-1 pitch. And a hard hit ball into right field, fading foul. No balls and 2 strikes to Bo Bichette. Oh-2 pitch, high and away. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour missing. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Hancock to Bichette. Yeah, got a female ump in there. It's nice to be able to see the diversity in the game. You're definitely starting to see a few more female umps and referees in basketball and in football, and the game is growing. 1-2 pitch. Low and away, sinker missing, 95 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Hancock to Bichette. Two-two pitch. And a little foul tip right in front of Mitch Garver. Count still remains 2 balls and 2 strikes from Hancock to Bichette. Announcers as well. Yeah, but I don't think we're necessarily going to be playing down, to the competition, because obviously we know the Mets were, at the beginning of the year, one of the worst teams in baseball, but they've started to kind of figure it out. They're still not above 500. They're 26-33, but I feel that we're going to play up to the competition, and so far we have. And again, we're not going to get trapped like when we play the Royals or the Angels. Usually we play down to them, and sometimes we get hit with a haymaker or an uppercut early, and we don't respond well after. And sometimes we get swept by those teams, Royals and Angels, and sometimes we only win 1 game. But I feel very confident after beating the A's and the Diamondbacks with sweeps that, good things could definitely happen. We should be able to hopefully win 2 out of 3. We win the first 2 games, then hopefully we get the sweep with them as well. First pitch into Juan Soto is in there for a strike, 0-1 count. I got you, Nathan. No problem. And our global viewership has gone up tremendously, our female viewership, and obviously, our 65 and up viewership has gone up quite a bit as well. So again, and every age group has obviously been, in the metrics, for 13 and 17, for the younger crowd, obviously, 18 to 24, anything in between from the 30s to the 50s. And then obviously with the 65 and up, we got a really good viewing, viewership as well. 1-1 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Juan Soto. 2-1 pitch. Takes a strike, low and at the knees. Cutter, 83 miles an hour there by Hancock. Pitching a gem so far. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Juan Soto. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. And we've been waiting all year for our team to get this good. But again, when you have a manager that is kind of below average, not the great, decision maker in Dan Wilson. Injuries, to Cal and Donnie, not ideal, but again, we definitely have turned the corner, and it feels good to be where we're at right now. 2-2 pitch, low and away. Curveball, 73 miles an hour, missing, low and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Hancock to Soto. 3-2 pitch, and a hard hit ball at first, but Naylor getting that laser in the glove, toe tap on the bag, and that is 3 up and 3 down. Appreciate that, Nathan. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and let's see if we can add on another run or 2 to our lead. Shout out to our boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Next up for the Mariners in the bottom of the 4th, in the 3-hole, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting second, in the 4-hole, left fielder, Randy Arozarena, who got plunked on his first at-bat. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, right fielder in the 5-hole, leading the team in home runs and RBIs, Luke Raley. And maybe we'll get a nuke out of Luke. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Take a look at the stats so far for the pitchers. So Hancock, 4 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, no walks, 5 Ks, 54 pitches, 36 strikes with a 2.62 ERA, 5 Ks and a no-hitter. Is that good? Damn right it is. And then let's go with Sean Manaea, since he came in, obviously, for Warren after an inning. So Warren pitched 1 inning and ended up being clean, 19 pitches, 11 strikes, 1.33 ERA, and they took him out. And then Sean Manaea's pitched 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, obviously the home run to Colt Emerson, 1 walk, 3 Ks, 32 pitches, 20 strikes, with a 5.50 ERA. So even though they went to a lefty, it didn't bother us one bit. And again, we have been getting slightly better at hitting lefties lately. The confidence is through the roof with this team, and it's nice to see that Cal Raleigh was able to put on the gear and, kind of take a few pitches. Nothing serious yet. He's not due back yet for still a little bit of time, but just, having him in the dugout and having him, be with the team is obviously great. And hopefully we'll be able to get Cal, Donnie, Carlos Vargas, and Miles Mastroboni back around June 4th, June 5th. But it may be a little bit longer for Donnie and Cal. We don't want to rush them. First pitch from Manaea to Josh Naylor, high and inside with a sinker, 91 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Let's go, Nails. 1-0 pitch, hard hit ball, and a great play there at first base, toe tap on the bag, and that is 1 up and 1 down. Great play there by Jared Young, the first baseman. And next up is Randy Arozarena, who has been the most consistent hitter on the Mariners since the beginning of the year. Has won us quite a few games. We had Victor Robles get his first walk-off in his career, obviously yesterday, which was fantastic. And Randy, even though he does have some issues with hustle, as well as ground balls in left field are a liability, but everything else has been supreme, and it's been exquisite. And hopefully Randy will continue to get better. And again, once he, can put together the hustle and just being a little bit more active and a little bit more with his head in the game in left field, it could really take him to another level. Definitely one of the more underrated players in the MLB, but if he wants to be a great all-around player, he's got to be better with the ground balls in left and throwing lasers into the infield, not lobs, so that way singles don't turn into doubles and doubles don't turn into triples. But in the box, he's been magnificent. 1-2 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. 2-2 pitch. Sweeper low and at the knees by Manaea. Good patience there by Randy. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Three-two pitch. And Randy pops it up. Should be a routine play here at third base. And that is 2 up and 2 down. Nice play there by Brett Beatty. Next up is Luke Raley. Let's go, Luke. See if we get a nuke out of Luke. Bring that electricity, Luke Raley. First pitch to Rayleigh, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Shout out to our female viewership, as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, New Zealand, Australia, and beyond. Big swing and a miss again. No balls and 2 strikes to Luke Rayleigh. 0-2 pitch, high and inside with a sweeper, 77 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Luke Rayleigh. Minnie in the building, what's good? How are you? 1-2 pitch, a little dribbler there by Rayleigh. Throw to first. And even though that is out number 3, it's just the hustle. You know, I really appreciate people, you know, that hustle and take the game, you know, serious. You know, no matter, you know, if you feel like you're going to be 99% out, you know, if you actually watch the game, you know, sometimes the, you know, ball is bobbled. Sometimes the throw to first is high. You just never know. And, you know, I love guys like Luke Rayleigh that hustle no matter what. Hopefully it'll catch on for guys like Randy and seeing, you know, what Luke Rayleigh does on an everyday basis. End of the 4th inning, 1-0 Mariners. Next up for the Mets in the top of the 5th, in the 4-hole, first baseman Jared Young. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, center fielder A.J. Ewing. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, DHing in the 6th hole, M.J. Melendez. Tridents up, let's go M's. Emerson Hancock with a no-hitter, let's go. 50 subs to go to 24,200. And we gained another sub since the last commercial break, appreciate you. 49 to go to 24,200. 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. And anything that we get on the dono train will help out with the vet visit that I had to take today for Paisley, getting her some more medication. And we are at 142 likes. Good start. $58 to $200. Yeah, for you being a bartender and whatnot, should be pretty exciting for you, you know, for the Stanley Cup final as well as the NBA finals up there. No doubt. Hopefully you make a lot of tips. First pitch from Hancock to Young, low and at the knees with a cutter, 83 miles an hour, 1-0 count. And obviously after we get, you know, through summer, then we'll be, you know, getting right into the mix of things with college football and the NFL. And obviously we've seen some big blockbuster trades. And again, A.J. Brown going to the Patriots. We already knew that was going to happen. But what about Aaron Donald? You know, obviously retiring. And then the guy that you kind of assume that has that same kind of dominance, right? Some guy from the Cleveland Browns, you might have heard of him. Pretty good player, Myles Garrett. You know, getting traded to the Rams now. And I know Aaron Donald might be feeling a little some kind of way. But then Jared Verse, probably not really too happy going to Cleveland in return, but he is from there. Again, you know, to go from the Rams to the Browns, not ideal. But Myles Garrett, you know, obviously going to the Rams, you can definitely tell that they are intimidated by the Seahawks. You know, and based on what they have been able to accomplish, and they're trying to be able to get on that Seahawk level, and we'll see what happens. We obviously know Matthew Stafford doesn't have too much time left. 3-1 pitch, hard hit ball by Young, and that is gone. Jared Young with a solo dinger on Emerson Hancock. Hopefully that'll be the only home run that he gives up. Chris with the 20. Appreciate you. That'll definitely help with the vet visit that I had today. Thank you so much. We are at 25 on the Dono train, 75 to go. And we just saw a solo shot, which we got from Colt Emerson. And they decided to say, you know what? We're not going to go out without a fight. Jared Young gets a hold of one right down the middle, right on the sweet spot of the bat. And he says, see ya. Big home run there, 424 feet compared to the 368 feet by Emerson. And now the game is tied at 1-1. And again, you know, Emerson has, you know, been fantastic. Now we just got to be able to have him settle down and settle in. And hopefully he gives up no more than one more run. But again, so far, you know, he has been great besides that one pitch. 0-1 pitch, right down the middle for a strike to A.J. Ewing. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the 5th inning. We're tied at 1. And time is called. Yeah, and I've already taken Paisley to the vet twice within a matter of a month, and then having to go again. But I was, trying to be a good dog father. Anytime I see her, shaking her head way too often, that usually means there's an ear problem. And then obviously scratching the ear. She ended up, having, some, debris in there and had to get it flushed out and whatnot. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and down goes Ewing. And that is 1 away. But I got some additional anti-itch, pills that I can put inside of peanut butter for her. So hopefully those will help out. They only originally gave me 10 when they ended up giving her drops in her ear that were supposed to last a month. So I don't know why they didn't give me, 20 or 30 anti-itch pills, originally. But, the last few days she's been uncomfortable. So I figured, I better call. It's not like I'm rich or anything. So definitely hurts a little bit when you have to, go to the vet, roughly 3 times in a matter of a month. That's not really anything that I've ever done before with her. But, her health and her happiness is everything to me. So first pitch is fouled off there by Melendez. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike from Hancock to Melendez. But, if you ever have a soul dog or a soul cat, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You want to make sure that you do anything and everything to make them happy. Pitch fouled off towards first base and out of play. Putter, 82 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Hancock to Melendez. Paisley saved my life, like for real, and again, anyone that's ever had any depression or anxiety in their life, it got really bad for me a few years ago, but thankfully, with her, I've been much better. I haven't really had a bad day in years. So, and another punch out there from Emerson Hancock, way to respond, after giving up the big home run to Jared Young. And down goes Melendez on strikes. Takes that strike looking, and that is 2 away. Next up in the 7-hole, third baseman, Brett Beatty, who is 0 for 1 with a K. Dank with a 5er. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. Another dono onto the dono train. Appreciate you, Chris and Dank. 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Hancock to Beatty. One pitch. Low and away with a sweeper, 76 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike from Hancock to Beatty. Two-one pitch popped up, and that is an easy play here for Julio in the no-fly zone, and that is 3 up and 3 down, but not after they end up getting a solo dinger. I mean, Hancock had a no-hitter, but we have to realize in baseball, no-hitters are not common. At some point, you're going to give up a hit, and unfortunately, that one hit that he fucking gave up ended up being a home run, but again, at least it makes this game competitive, and hopefully that'll motivate the Mariners to now be able to retake the lead. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners in the 6-hole, getting walked in his first at-bat, second baseman Cole Clutch Young. Batting second in the 7-hole, DHing Rob Refsnyder. Why the hell is Rob DHing? I know you want him to play once in a while, but shouldn't this be Victor Robles after he ended up, getting his first walk-off, walk-off hit in his career? I would have rather seen Robles be our DH today rather than Rob, but I mean, that's me. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, catcher Mitch Garver. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. And I send a lot of love your way, with your dog Joker, Chris, because, again, I don't think people really realize, how important a dog can be to you in your life. unless you actually have it happen to you. You always see, friends and family, that go over the moon with pictures and videos of their dog, just like people with their newborns with kids, and whatnot. But I don't think people really fully understand the connection you can have with your soul dog unless it really happens to you. And I know with me, I had a lot of other friends that experienced that love, but I never have really experienced that kind of love before, based off pet or a relationship. So then to be able to have, that unconditional love, which I've never really had before, and to be able to, reciprocate, the love by, the food and the walks and the hugs and the kisses and the belly rubs and the back rubs and, making sure that, she's going to live a great life. It really is, something truly special. And it's probably, the thing that I'm the most proud of, besides this YouTube channel that, I've constructed from the ground up, as trying to be the best dog father that I can to her, and love her with all my heart. First pitch, takes a strike, looking high and away, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away with a sweeper, 76 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Manea to Young. She's an American Staffy, so. 1-1 pitch, little line drive. Diving catch in center field. Wow. Unbelievable grab out there in center by A.J. Ewing, robbing Cole Young of a double, more than likely. Wow. Incredible ground that he covered there to make that diving grab. Great catch there by A.J. Ewing, robbing Cole Young. So, Paisley's American Staffy, American Staffordshire Terrier, and maybe about a quarter pitty. I think the dad was half pitty, half Staffy, and I think the mom was all Staffy. So. First pitch is low and at the knees to Rob Refsnyder, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss there by Rob. Sinker, 91 miles an hour, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rob Refsnyder. 1-1 pitch. Takes a strike, looking low and at the knees. 4-seam fastball, 90 miles an hour there by Manea. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 5th inning. We're knotted up at 1 with home runs by Colt Emerson for the Mariners and Young by the Mets moments ago. 1-2 pitch, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 92 miles an hour, missing by Manea. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Rob Refsnyder. 2-2 pitch, hard hit ball, deep left field, fading foul. Crushed that baseball, Refsnyder, but just foul. Two pitch, and Refsnyder just with a shallow pop up here, and that is caught. 2 up and 2 down. Down goes Rob. Next up in the 8-hole, catcher Mitch Garver. Come on, Mitch. See if we can start a 2-out rally here. We're on a 6-game win streak with sweeps against the Athletics and the Diamondbacks. And again, hopefully we can end up winning this series. And again, I don't want to jinx us talking about anything sweep related until we win the first 2 games. But right now, we're in a battle and a war with a game tied at 1, and we definitely need the bats to come alive because we really don't know what's going to happen with the bullpen and who's going to be coming in. And we don't really trust Mooney all year, and hopefully they'll make a change. 1-0 pitch. Shallow left field, and that is out number 3. Juan Soto with the grab, and it is the end of the 5th inning. Let's go to the top of the 6th and see who's next up for New York. Next up in the top of the 6th inning in the 8-hole, second baseman Marcus Semien. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K. Catcher Luis Torrens, and batting third, 0 for 2, right fielder, leadoff hitter Carson Benj. Trident's up. Let's go M's. $49 subs to go to 24,200. Looks like we gained a few more. Appreciate you. Gained 4 more subs since the last commercial break. 45 subs to go to 24,200. Thank you so much. And we're at 30 on the dono train. Jolly with a $5, Chris with a 20, Dank with a $5. Appreciate the 3 of you. We're at 30, 70 to go. And let's see where we're at on the likes and how close we are to 200 here halfway through. We're at 285 in the room. And let's see how close we are to 200 likes. We're at 158. We're almost there. All right, we're at 158 likes, 42 to 200, and we got 281 in the room. So if we can get 42 people out of 281, we'll be at 200. Hancock's at 71 pitches with 7 Ks. So still obviously wheeling and dealing. 5 innings pitch, 1 hit, 1 earned run, the home run that he gave up, which is unfortunate there to Young. But he does 0 walks and 7 Ks. So again, our pitching staff has been incredibly good. Everything has really been incredibly good within the last 6 games that obviously we've been able to win. So. Yeah, I think staffies and pit bulls get a bad rep. You know, it really comes down to the owner. You know, if you're not a good pet owner, any dog can be aggressive, you know, and be wild and whatnot, you know. But again, you know, if you ever have a relationship, you know, with a staffy or a pitty, you know, it's much different than the, you know, the norm that people speak of a lot of times. Pitch is high and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Hancock to Simeon. 2-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss with a sinker. 93 miles an hour, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Marcus Simeon. 2-1 pitch. High and away. Sinker, 94 miles an hour. Missing there by Hancock. 3 balls and 1 strike to Marcus Simeon. Three-one pitch. Popped up and out of play. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the 6th inning. We're knotted up at 1 with home runs by Emerson and Young for the Mariners and the Mets. Both teams have 1 run. Both teams have 1 home run each. And both teams have 1 hit each and no errors. So 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for both. And both with home runs. So it's definitely been a pitcher's duel, even though they took out their pitcher after the 1st inning. But Manea has been good since then. Pitch fouled off there by Simeon. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Marcus Simeon. 3-2 pitch. And a hard hit ball to deep left field. And gone. Damn it. And a big blast there by Marcus Simeon. And another dinger given up by Emerson Hancock, which is not ideal. But we do need the bats to come alive at some point if we're going to match this New York team. Marcus Simeon goes yard, 2-1 New York. 389 feet with a blast to left field. And it was right down the middle, got it right on the sweet spot. Next up in the 9-hole, catcher Luis Torrens. And now we can't have Hancock give up any more. You know, again, normally you don't want your starting pitcher to give up any more than 3 at the max, you know, but again, based on how our pitchers have been playing lately, you know, normally it's going to be more 0 to 2 is ideal. So hopefully he doesn't give up another. We want to make sure we stay relatively close to this Met team today. First pitch to Torrens, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, sweeper, low and away, 74 miles an hour, missing by Hancock. 1 ball and 1 strike to Luis Torrens. Come on, Emerson, settle down and settle in. And if we're going to be positive about it, we have to be thankful that the home runs that the Mets got, weren't 2-run jacks, 3-run, bombs or grand salamis. They were just solo dingers. So, we just need our offense to do their job besides Colt Emerson, and we'll be just fine. And It'll obviously be a 3-inning sprint, obviously, once we get our chance here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-2 pitch. Popped up. Should be a routine play here. And Julio calls off Young at the last second, even though Young initially tried to call off Julio. But they get the good communication there. They don't run into each other. And that is 1 up and 1 down. Nice job there by Julio. Next up for the Mets, right fielder 0 for 2, Carson Bench. First pitch to Bench is low and away. Changeup missing there by Hancock. 86 miles an hour, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. High and away. 2 balls and no strikes after that cutter misses there. 83 miles an hour by Emerson Hancock. 2 balls and no strikes to Carson Bench. 2-0 pitch. In there for a strike looking. Beautiful sinker there. 93 miles an hour by Emerson Hancock. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the 6th inning. 2-1 New York. 2-1 pitch. Fouled off into left field. Out of play. 4-seam fastball. 94 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Carson Bench. 2-2 pitch. Little dribbler towards first base and foul. Cutter 84 miles an hour there by Emerson Hancock. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Carson Bench. Hancock on the mound. Bench in the box. Two-two pitch. And a little blooper into left and foul. Two-two pitch, a little slow dribbler. Young is there. Throw to first. Toe tap on the bag by Naylor. And that is 2 up and 2 down. Nice job there by Cole Young. As reliable as they come. Great job, Cole. Good defense. And that is 2 away. Next up is Bo Bichette. Rest in peace to Rick Adelman, the Portland Trailblazer legend and icon, as well as Sacramento King head coach. Definitely, ended up getting robbed by the Lakers and Donaghy with the illegal gambling back in the day. But they had a hell of a squad with, Mike Bibby and Doug Christie and Peja Stojakovic and Chris Webber, Vlade Divac. Hell of a squad out there. Scott Pollard, Bobby Jackson. We're definitely going to miss you, Rick Adelman. And time is called there by Bo Bichette. First pitch to Bichette, low and at the knees with a sweeper, 76 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Come on, Emerson. Finish strong. 1-0 pitch. Hard hit ball. Right to Josh Naylor. Hustle, Josh. And finally gets to first. And that is 3 up and 3 down. But not after. They end up getting another home run there by Marcus Semien. And we know Marcus Semien, when he was on the Rangers, we would have issues with him back then. And again, they got 2 home runs by Marcus Semien and Jared Young. Right, we got 1 home run so far out of Colt Emerson, but I feel like another one is approaching. It's just, who is it going to be? And hopefully we get more than 1 more. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Next up, 1-1 with a run and an RBI with that home run to give us the one, Colt Emerson. Let's see if he can do it again. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, shortstop J.P. Crawford, and batting third, 0 for 2, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Crazy stat with the Mariners during our season high 6-game win streak. The offense is batting .312 coming into the game. 16 home runs with an OPS of almost 1,000, 926. And our pitching staff, 1.77 ERA with our starters. So again, we have been rolling, and hopefully we can get the bats rolling here in the last 3 innings. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 45 subs to go to 24,200. And we gained a couple more. Appreciate you. 43 subs now to 24,200. We're at 30 on the Dono train. 70 to go. Anything will help going towards a vet bill. Anyone that has a pet will understand, vet visits are not cheap, especially when you have to go 3 times in a matter of a month or so. And let's look to see where we're at on the likes. We're at 173. We're almost there. $27 more likes to get to 200. If we can get 27 people out of the 309 in the room, we'll be able to hit that secondary goal. And anyone that does have, depression or anxiety, there's some things that you can definitely do to change that. Obviously with me, getting Paisley was a big part of it, but also exercising and changing your diet. If you do those 2 things and then you end up committing yourself to like a dog or a cat in the, utmost way, you won't have time, to be depressed or have anxiety anymore, and your life will turn around. 2-0 pitch, little line drive to third, throw to first, and that is 1 up and 1 down. Down goes Colt Emerson. Because before I was almost peaking at 300 pounds. I was at like 280, 290, and I've dropped 80, 90 pounds, and I've been able to keep it off for the last 2 to 3 years. But also, I don't eat fast food. I really don't drink anymore, and I used to drink like every day. I walk 5 miles a day, 7 days a week, and I haven't missed that in 2 to 3 years. And, so if you can commit yourself, to eating healthy, exercising, often, if it's not every day, a majority of the week, at least 5 days out of 7, but again, if you walk every day, definitely the weight will come off. And again, better diet, better exercise, committing some love in your life, to a dog or a cat, and you'd be really surprised on the results that you can get. And it doesn't really take that long, to get results. Some people will get results a little sooner than later, but 0-2 pitch to JP, and he pops it up and out of play. But again, I was in a very, very dark place a few years ago. And, ever since, having Paisley, here and, being able to change my lifestyle for the better, I haven't really had a bad day in years, believe it or not. 0-2 pitch from Manea to Crawford, and that is strike 3 looking, and that is 2 up and 2 down. Down goes JP. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. First pitch to Julio, pops it up. And again, we need to be able to work the count against this Met team. And that is out number 3. 3 up and 3 down. Way too fast of an inning there for the Mariners. And now it's going to be a 3-inning sprint in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And we just got to find a way, once Manea goes out, that we can end up winning this game 3-2. End of the 6th inning, 2-1 Mets. 2 home runs by New York with Young and Simeon, 1 home run by Colt Emerson, but we need more. Next up for the Mets in the top of the 7th, 0 for 2 left fielder, future Hall of Famer Juan Soto. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run, RBI, and a solo dinger, Jared Young. And batting third, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks and a brilliant diving catch in center field, A.J. Ewing. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Gained 2 more subs since our last commercial break. Appreciate you. 41 subs now to go to 24,200. Velasco with a $5, and that was about 15 minutes ago. All right, so we're at 35.65 to go. Shout out to Velasco. I'm not sure if are you still in the room, Velasco? I believe he is. Appreciate you. Shout out to Velasco with another $5 holla. And we're at 179 on the likes. We just need 21 more. Can we get 21 people out of the 303 in the room? And we'll be at 200. Let's go. All right, Hancock is done. And let's look at his final line. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 home runs, 7 strikeouts, no walks, 91 pitches. First pitch strikes, 11 for 20. And obviously giving up the 2 home runs is not ideal, but it could have been worse. You know, it could have given up a 3-run bomb or a 2-run jack and maybe we lose, but at least we're still in it. You know, they have 2 home runs, we have 1, and we just got to hope that Jose Ferrer can do his job. First pitch is low and away with the sinker, 1-0 count. I would rather see Jose Ferrer be our closer, if I'm being honest. You know, since he has closing experience, you know, with the Nationals, when we actually traded for Harry Ford for him, but he was the closer for the Nats last year for half the year. I still don't trust him, you know, 100%, but I trust him more than Mooney. And they're not going to put Brash as the closer, so Ferrer is probably the best thing that we could get, you know, other, you know, than Mooney himself, who has been absolutely terrible, the worst player on the team this year besides Luis Castillo. I mean, as far as starters are concerned. 1-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away. Sinker, 96 miles an hour there by Jose Ferrer. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Juan Soto. But shout out to Kate Anderson and Ryan Sloan continuing to tear it up in the farm system. You know, I'm very excited about the development of those two. Love what I'm seeing out of Cole Young and Colt Emerson on the squad now. And hopefully we can get a good performance here from Jose Ferrer. Can't give up any more runs. 1-2 pitch, high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Ferrer to Soto. Right ends up. Let's go, Ems. 2-2 pitch to Soto. Hard hit ball towards first. Naylor gobbles it up. Toe tap on the bag, and that is 1 up and 1 down. And Young and Naylor have been magnificent today. You know, a lot of the hard hit balls would have normally got past, you know, maybe those guys, you know, depending on what time of year we're playing in, you know, but they're very locked in today. And again, great to be able to see that defense and not a lot of baseballs being able to leave the infield. That's going to give us a better chance of coming back and winning this game instead of giving up some cheap singles up the middle. Next up for the New York Mets is Jared Young. First pitch to Jared Young, takes a strike looking, low and at the knees. Sinker at 97 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Jared Young with the home run earlier in the game. In the 5th, Jose Ferrer on the mound. Let's go, Jose. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, high and inside. Nasty pitch there by Jose Ferrer. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the 7th inning. Mariners are down 2-1, but we could still come back and win 3-2. But we need the offense to hurry up. 0-2 pitch, fouled off into left field, out of play by Young. Slider 86 miles an hour by Jose Ferrer. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the 7th, 2-1 New York. 0-2 pitch, low and away. Big swing and a miss. Gets Young to bite, and that is 2 up and 2 down. Nice job there by Jose Ferrer. Nice punch out. Way to bring a little electricity here after Emerson Hancock. Next up, in the 5-hole, center fielder 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, A.J. Ewing. But he did have that diving, Superman grab in center field earlier in the game. Got to give kudos, where kudos needs to be given, even if it's against us. First pitch from Ferrer to Ewing. Low and at the knees, 1-0 count. Sinker, 98 miles an hour there by Jose Ferrer. I think it's a combination with Mooney. It's his grip on his slider and it's mental. Baseball is very mental, and again, to be able to get yourself out of a slump is probably the hardest thing to do out of the 4 major sports. It's one thing if you're having a slump in basketball, shooting threes, and you can, hit a layup, hit a jumper, shoot some free throws, and then try threes again, and then maybe get going. And then the NFL, you might have some drops, you work the jug machine, and then eventually good things will happen, and you'll be able to get some, first downs and maybe some touchdowns. And obviously with the NHL and the MLB, I think it's the hardest 2 sports to kind of get back on track when things are going bad. And with baseball, to be able to, defend a baseball and to hit a baseball is one of the hardest things to do. And to be able to do it well on a consistent basis. 1-2 pitch, a little dribbler up the middle. J.P. Crawford is there. Regular traditional throw to Naylor, no sidearm bullshit. And it gets to Naylor clean. And that is 3 up and 3 down. Now it's time for the Mariners to tie this game up or to take the lead. But again, to be a top 5, top 10 closer, for a number of years, and then to, have an ERA for most of the year with Castillo and Mooney above 6 is very unacceptable, and again, we can't win games if Mooney is going to be the closer, because if the games are going to be close and 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, and we're tied or we only have a 1-run lead, more times than not, Mooney has given up a run almost every fucking outing, sometimes more than one. So, hopefully they figure it out, but, I think Dan Wilson is pretty stubborn. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Rick Riz, he's loving it, but he wants to celebrate a victory here today. Let's see if we have the right batters here in the bottom of the 7th to give us some of that Soto mojo and that Mariner magic. Next up, 0 for 2 in the 3-hole, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting second, 0 for 1, and getting plunked in his first at-bat, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, right fielder Luke Raley. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 41 subs to go to 24,200. Now we gained 2 more subs since the last commercial break. Appreciate you. 39 subs to go to 24,200. We're at 35 on the Dono train. 65 to go. And let's see if we can get to 200 likes before this game is over. And we're at 188. We're almost there. We're on the doorstep of 200. Can we get 12 people out of the 318 to hit that like button so we can hit 200? That would be fantastic. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th inning. We're down by a run. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. We can do this. 6-game win streak. Let's make it 7. And Raley is coming in here for the Mets. First pitch to Naylor, cutter low and away, 88 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Brooks Raley coming in. One-zero pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike to Josh Naylor. 1-1 pitch, low and away with the sinker, 91 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike to Josh Naylor. 3-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. Line drive, laser towards first. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Brooks Raley, the lefty here for New York, and Josh Naylor in the box. Let's go, Nails. Three-two pitch. And Rayleigh back. Gone! Josh Naylor does it, baby. You know, he was very overdue for a home run. He missed a home run a couple games ago by 6 inches, hitting the top of the mat, and it bounced back into the field, but not this time. A no-doubter, 373 feet to right field, and the game is tied 2-2. Let's go! Let's go, baby. That's exactly what we needed. First pitch to Randy, fouls it off, 0-1 count. Hell yeah. And again, the momentum now in our favor. Never doubt us, never count us out until the game is over, especially on a 6-game win streak. You know, this is the best ball that we've played in a 6-game stretch all year. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside. No balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. 0-2 pitch and lines out to right. What a catch. Wow. Incredible catch out there in right field. And that is 1 away. Patrick Wisdom coming in now for Luke Raley. Could have had a Raley versus Raley matchup. All right, let's see if Patrick Wisdom can end up getting on base with a hit here. Uncle Mo, baby. We got that momentum back. Great job, Naylor. First pitch from Rayleigh to Wisdom. Big swing and a miss. Sweeper, 81 miles an hour, low and inside at the knees. 0-1 count. Come on, Pat. Oh, 1 pitch. Takes a strike looking high and inside with a cutter. 86 miles an hour by Brooks Raley. No balls and 2 strikes to Patrick Wisdom. All right, all day says we got to 211. Let's see if we can get to 3 before the stream ends. 0-2 pitch to Wisdom. Low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Patrick Wisdom as this next pitch gets fouled off high and away. Behind the plate to the T-Mobile Bricks. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for both teams. 2 home runs for the Mariners, Colt Emerson and Josh Naylor, and 2 home runs for the Mets with Marcus Semien and Jared Young. It's as even as it possibly could be in a game. Right down the middle, 50-50. Could go either way, but we do have the momentum now. 1-2 pitch, and that is strike 3 looking. All right, next up for the Mariners, in the 6-hole, second baseman Cole Clutch Young. Let's go, Cole. 0 for 1 with a walk so far. First pitch from Rayleigh to Young, low and away with a sinker. 91 miles an hour by Brooks Rayleigh, 1-0 count. Bottom of the 7th inning, we're tied at 2. 2 home runs for the Mariners, 2 solo jacks, 2 home runs for the Mets, 2 solo jacks. And again, we just have to hope that our bullpen will be better than theirs. And I don't want to see Mooney play. I really don't. But we might have to have him come out there depending on if we can end up having a lead by the time we get to the 9th. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll get the good Mooney for once, but feels like for every good Mooney performance, we have like 5 or 10 that are bad right after that. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 2 balls and 1 strike to Cole Young. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With nobody on and 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning, we're tied at 2. 2-2 pitch. And with a little blooper, and it falls. There we go. Nice job there by Cole Clutch Young, getting a little blooper to drop there into shallow center field. Great job, Cole. Now, instead of having Rob Refsnyder, hit right here, why not bring in Victor Robles? But we'll see what they decide to do here. Anybody but Refsnyder. Or even Dominic Canzone, bring him in. Looks like they're going to make another pitching change. All right, Luke Weaver is coming in. Take out Refsnyder, bring in Canzone. See if I can get the Luke Weaver photo up in time here. All right, so it's Rob Refsnyder initially, but if it's going to be a righty, might as well swap in Dominic Canzone, the Italian stallion, but we'll see what they decide to do here. Bottom of the 7th, Cole Young, and it is Canzone, so I did call that. I figured that's what they would do, and I'm thankful Dan is, not a complete schmuck, and Canzone is in. Refsnyder shouldn't ever be a DH, period, but at least he's not leading off like he was earlier in the year. And let's see if we can get the Italian stallion to come up with a big home run or RBI here. Luke Weaver on the mound, a righty, 23 games, 2.92 ERA, 24 strikeouts to 8 walks. And we got Canzone in the box here with 2 outs with a runner at first, Cole Young. We regained the momentum, the Uncle Mo, and we got a nice home run to tie this game up by Josh Naylor, but we obviously need a few more if we want to feel comfortable winning this game. Even going up a run, you don't really feel too comfortable, especially if Mooney comes in at the end of the game. So hopefully we can get to 4 or 5 before this is over, but that might be a stretch. First pitch is high and away from Luke Weaver to Canzone, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. Change up by Luke Weaver, 86 miles an hour on pitch 1, 87 miles an hour on pitch 2. Come on, Dom. Xavier in the building. What's good? 1-1 pitch. And fading foul out of play. Change up 88 miles an hour. Luke Weaver on the mound for the Mets. Dominic Canzone, the Italian stallion, in the box for the Mariners. Josh Naylor with a solo jack moments ago to tie the game up at 2, which is exactly what we needed. And hopefully we'll get a few more Mariners to step up here late. 1-2 pitch, high and away. Good eye there by Dom. Four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour, 96 miles an hour, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Throw to first, and safe. Appreciate you, Bo. Two-two pitch from Luke Weaver to Dominic Canzone. And a little blooper into left. And Soto is there, and that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the top of the 8th inning and see who's up next here for New York. But a shout out to Josh Naylor, for coming up with that clutch home run. Because again, if we didn't get a home run, either in the 7th or in the 8th, more than likely they probably would have been able to scrap out the win, 2-1, or who knows how many more they get. But now with 2 home runs for the Mariners and 2 by the Mets, it really is anybody's game. Whoever bullpen is better is more than likely going to win this. Next up for the Mets in the top of the 8th, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. In the 6th hole, DHing MJ Melendez. Batting second, 0 for 2 with the K, third baseman Brett Beatty. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run, RBI, and a solo dinger, second baseman, formerly of the Texas Rangers, Marcus Semien. Right hands up, let's go M's. And who's coming in for Jose Ferrer? Will they have Ferrer pitch again in the 8th, or will they bring someone else in? We will find out here in a moment. 39 subs to go to 24,200. And we gained 2 more subs since the last commercial break. Appreciate you. 37 subs to go to 24,200. We are approaching 6 million views on the channel, which we should get to that number in a few days. I believe we're at 35 on the Dono train, 65 to go. And we're at 222 on the likes. $78 to $300. Appreciate that, Drew. And Victor Robles moves it to right field. Wisdom goes to first base for Naylor. So they're making some defensive changes here late in the last couple innings. Canzone is the new DH. And we got Matt Brash on the mound. Last time we saw Brash, he was terrible. Let's hope we get the good version of Matt Brash, who normally is our most reliable guy in the pen. Let's go, Matt. We need a good outing and a good showing from you. First pitch from Brash to Melendez out there, fouled it off. 0-1 count. Brash on the mound. MJ Melendez in the box. Oh, 1 pitch, big swing and a miss. This version of Brash looks much better than what we saw in his last. I mean, he only really had one bad outing all year, and at one point before Brash got hurt, him and Mason Miller were the only 2 players to not give up a run, and again, obviously we know that Brash has, got a little beat up, on his last, start out there, to come in from the pen, but, hopefully he'll be able to put together at least a decent performance and not give up a run and give the Mets back the lead. But we'll wait and see. One-two pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Brash to Melendez. 2-2 pitch, and it looks like he hit Melendez. Come on, Brash. It looks like Brash's struggles continue here. Next up in the 7-hole, 0 for 2 with a K, Brett Beatty. First pitch, takes a strike looking with the changeup high and away, 92 miles an hour by Brash. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. Changeup, 90 miles an hour by Brash. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and no outs. Top of the 8th inning, we're knotted up at 2. 2 home runs by the Mets, 2 home runs by the Mariners, and it's been as even could be. We're on a 6-game win streak, and we're trying to get it to 7 if we can find a way to win this game 3-2. Haven't had any double plays go our way either. Oh-2 pitch from Brash, and a little dribbler up the middle. Give me that double play. No double play, throw to first, and got him just in time. Was really hoping that we could have got the double play there after we just mentioned it a few seconds ago, but Young didn't have a play there at second. And now we have an umpire meeting. Are they trying to say that he was safe at first? I hope not. Are they going to try to say some kind of fucking interference here by Patrick Wisdom? It is a double play. Okay, let's see what I was about to say. What's going on here? Okay, so Young did end up tagging him and then ended up having the throw to first here to Patrick Wisdom. The play happened so quickly, you couldn't really tell if he actually got the tag as he was running by or not. And then we see Wisdom fall to the ground. But obviously a very close play with Young and Melendez almost crashing into each other. And then the throw was a little off because Young had to hurry. But then Wisdom, you know, with a good head on his shoulders, even though he falls down, gets his foot on the bag, and you ask for a double play, you get a double play. Amazing. You know, and again, not a normal traditional, you know, little dribbler up the middle, flip from JP to Young, strong throw to Naylor, bang, bang, you know, double play. This is definitely, you know, a little bit unorthodox, you know, with Young going to Patrick Wisdom at first. But even with him falling down, looking at the bag and making sure, you know, that foot stays on there and getting Brash out of a jam. Great job, Mariner defense. Next up is Marcus Semien, the former Texas Ranger. First pitch, slider, right down the middle, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouled off there by Semien. Slider, 87 miles an hour, no balls and 2 strikes from Brash to Semien. Scott in the building, what's good? Usually the sports gods are pretty kind to us, you know, when we predict things on the channel, you know, home runs or double plays and whatnot. I mean, obviously you're not going to, you know, get every prediction correct, or, you know, sports gods aren't going to help you out all the time, but glad we were able to get that double play. 0-2 pitch, low and away, slider missing, 86 miles an hour by Brash. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Marcus Semien. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and that is out number 3. Here we go. And you got to think about how many runs Cole Young has saved for the Mariners, you know, within this, you know, first 61 game stretch. It's unreal. You know, he is playing at like a, you know, as far as defense, he's playing like at an all-star type of level. You know, obviously his numbers could be a little bit better offensively, but he's young, right? Just like his name, just like Colt Emerson, you know, being a phenom at 20. And again, nice to be able to see Young step up again. Now let's see if we can end up taking the lead and not look back. Let's see who's up next here in the bottom of the 8th. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a K, catcher Mitch Garver. Let's go, Mitch. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI. Third baseman, the phenom, Colt Emerson, who homered earlier tonight. And batting third, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Trident's up. Let's go, Mariners. We got a 2.5 game lead in the division, 6-game win streak with a sweep against the Athletics and the Diamondbacks. This is the best baseball that we've played all year. Just got to find a way to dig out this victory. 37 subs to go to 24,200. I believe we're at 35 on that dono train, 65 to go. And we're at 229 likes. 71 to 300. And shout out to my boy Odin's son for breaking our single dono record of 1,500. I really appreciate it. And again, anyone that ends up being a streamer, whether it be on YouTube or Twitch or any other platform, understands that the biggest honor that you can give any streamer is a donation. To keep their dream alive and to keep it going. The likes matter, the subs matter, the views matter, the comments matter. It all matters. But when you can go above and beyond and support someone's dream, it really, means a lot. Not just myself, but every streamer will tell you that as well. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 8th, and let's see if we can get some of that Soto mojo and some of that Mariner magic, starting off here with Mitch Garver. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch to Garver, hard hit ball, shallow left field, and it drops to Juan Soto, and that is one away. Was really hoping that was going to go for a home run, but just not enough wind out there in Seattle at T-Mobile. That is one up and one down. Good defense there by Juan Soto and left, the future Hall of Famer. Next up for the Mariners, Colt Emerson, who ended up homering for us in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Let's go Colt. See if he can end up having his first multi-homer game in a Mariner uniform. First pitch, big swing and a miss with the changeup low and away. 88 miles an hour there by Weaver. 0-1 count. Luke Weaver on the mound. Colt Emerson in the box. 0-1 pitch from Weaver. Low and away. Four-seam fastball missing, 96 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 8th inning, 2-2, Mariners and Mets. We can definitely win this game 3-2. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We just need someone to step up. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Nasty pitch there by Weaver. Changeup, 87 miles an hour, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 8th, we're tied at 2. 1-2 pitch from Weaver. High and away. Good eye there by Colt, the 20-year-old phenom that got called up because of the Brendan Donovan injury. But we should have Donnie, Cal, as well as Vargas and Mastroboni back sooner than later. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Colt Emerson. Nice punch out there by Luke Weaver. And that is 2 up and 2 down. All right. Potentially the last batter in this inning unless we can get something going. Let's see if we can get a 2-out rally here on Luke Weaver. Next up, leadoff hitter, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Let's see if we can get some electricity out of J.P. Rebecca with a 5er. Appreciate you. We're at 40 on the Dono train, 60 to go. And I did have to take Paisley to the vet again. So anything on the Dono train will go towards that. Had to get some more anti-itch medication for her ear infection that she had a few weeks ago. 1-0 pitch from Weaver. And fouls that right in front of the catcher there. 1 ball and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. Appreciate you, Rebecca. Shout out to our female audience, including Rebecca and many, many others, as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, and beyond. I appreciate every single one of you. Bottom of the 8th inning, we're tied at 2. Luke Weaver on the mound, J.P. Crawford in the box. Come on, J.P. 1-1 pitch. Low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. J.P. is the most patient hitter based off the nerd analytics, based off the Seattle Mariner roster this year. So hopefully he'll force a walk unless he can end up getting a home run or a big single or double. 2-1 pitch. And a little blooper, shallow center field drop. Oh! And AJ Ewing again coming up with a diving grab, and he's definitely robbed a couple base hits from the Mariners today. No relation to Patrick Ewing, of course, but AJ Ewing getting the job done. And down go the Mariners, 3 up and 3 down. Let's go to the top of the 9th inning and see who's up next here for New York. All right, top of the 9th inning, 0 for 2 with a K, and the 9-hole catcher, Luis Torrens. Batting second, leadoff hitter, right fielder, Carson Benj. And batting third, the former Toronto Blue Jay, now New York Met, 0 for 3 with a K, shortstop, Bo Bichette. And the real question is who's coming in? It's not going to be Matt Brash again. He's got a .60 ERA, but they don't usually have him pitch more than 1 inning. Is it going to be Andres Munoz coming in, or are they going to go with someone else? $37 subs to go to 24,200. Gained another sub since the last commercial break. Appreciate you. 36 subs to go to 24,200. Mooney is coming in. Hopefully he doesn't blow the game here. And hopefully we're not down 3-2 or worse when we go to the bottom of the 9th. Andres Munoz used to be a top 5, top 10 closer. Now he's bottom 10. He's one of the worst in the league. You know, he's got a grip on the slider that has been off all year, and also he's in his own head. And again, you know, when you get a guy that tries to throw, 100 miles an hour on every pitch and doesn't really care about the location, this is what you get. You know, the slider grip is off. His confidence is gone. He's just trying to throw as hard as he can, and it's very disappointing to see how bad Mooney and Castillo have been this year. And even Gilbert, hasn't been what we expected, but Gilbert is doing better than Mooney and Castillo. But hopefully Mooney can find a way. He's blown a lot of games for us already, but we just got to pray that, he'll be able to get at least a strikeout and then a cheap pop-up or ground out. And if he doesn't get any Ks, we're fine with that. Just get the pop-up and ground outs. Hopefully he doesn't, end up hitting anybody or walking anybody. First pitch is inside, 1-0 count. Slider 83 miles an hour. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 85 mile an hour slider. 1 ball and 1 strike to Luis Torrens. And you'll know how good Mooney is. First 7 pitches will determine, is this going to be a good outing, or is this going to be like hold your breath outing? 1-1 pitch, low and away. Sinker at 98 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike from Mooney to Torrens. Come on, Mooney. 2-1 pitch, low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike from Mooney to Torrens. Not exactly what we want to see with 3 balls out of the first 4 pitches. Come on, Mooney. And again, when the game is tied or when we have a 1-run lead, gosh, man, he's blown so many games that way. 3-1 pitch, a little slow dribbler. Cole Young, he's got it. Throw to first to Patrick Wisdom, and that is 1 away. And I'll take that all day, every day. And again, I'm just so thankful that we got someone as reliable as Cole Young. No disrespect to Jorge Polanco. We know he had a great year for us last year hitting-wise, but obviously his defense was not very good. And Young is a big, big upgrade. Great job, Cole. Next up, 0 for 3, leadoff hitter, right fielder, Carson Benj. And hopefully we get another slow dribbler from Benj here as well. First pitch right down the middle for a strike from Andres Munoz, 0-1 count. Here we go. Let's go, Mooney. Oh, 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. Changeup missing, 91 miles an hour, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the 9th inning, 2-2. And if Mooney can get out of this inning unscathed, we can definitely win this 3-2 in 9, 10, 11, or 12. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Mooney to Benj. Velasco says 240, 60 to go, 10 more to get to 250. We got 444 in the room. We could hit 300 before the game is over. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Let's fucking go. And normally I don't get too excited for Mooney, but again, he has been terrible for us this season. Great job. I mean, Mooney has been literally the worst player on the team. So to have someone to be the worst player on the team that normally is a top 5 closer, top 10 closer in the game, it's just crazy. First pitch to Bo Bichette, big swing and a miss. It feels like momentum is going in our favor now. 0-1 count. Trident's up. Let's go M's. That first at bat was a little shaky, but got the job done on batter number 2. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. Sinker, 98 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Mooney to Bichette. Yeah, Cole Young and Colt Emerson, we both drafted and we both got them from the farm system. 1-1 pitch, little dribbler up the middle. J.P. Crawford is there. Throw to first. Got him. All right, baby. Here we go. Time to win the game. Let's get it, baby. Great job there by Andres Munoz. And, we're, 61 games in. And I don't know how many times we've said, good job, Andres Munoz. Only a couple. And I'm not exaggerating. So great job there. Now let's see if we can get the job done. And let's see if we got the right batters in place to get the job done. Leading off for the Mariners, 0 for 3. Let's make it 1 for 4. Julio Rodriguez. Pinch hitting next is going to be Victor Robles. So let me get a Victor photo here. He ended up getting the walk-off for us in yesterday's game for the first time in his career. So we're going to go Julio Rodriguez. We're going to go Victor Robles instead of Patrick Wisdom. Good choice. And then we're going to go Randy Arozarena, who's 0 for 2, and he got plunked in his first at-bat. So I like that. Julio, Victor Robles, Randy Arozarena, the whole no-fly zone, having a chance to be able to win I can't say all 3. I say 2 out of the 3, probably have a chance to homer with Julio and Randy. Victor, not so much. But, again, certain guys are due. Naylor was due for a home run, and, it's not like Victor is going to hit a whole lot, during a season. Even if he was an everyday player, probably only, 8 to 15 home runs total. So he's not going to be this amazing splash home run hitter, but you never know. You get a pitch right down the middle, even if Victor Robles could win the game for us. So hopefully we get the job done here and we can win in the bottom of the 9th. But if we don't, I still feel confident we can win in 10, 11, or 12. All right, Devin Williams is coming in. All right, Devin Williams entering the matchup, 22 games. And again, him being a righty, we know that we can get the job done. And hopefully we can get it done here with Julio Rodriguez. Devin Williams on the mound, Julio Rodriguez in the box. First pitch to Julio, big swing and a miss. Nasty changeup, 82 miles an hour there by Devin, 0-1 count. Mando with a 5-er, appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. I had to go to the vet again today to get some anti-itch medication for Paisley. So going to the vet 3 times in a month, that will definitely hit the pocketbook hard. 0-1 pitch. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. No balls and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod. 0-2 pitch. Little dribbler towards third and foul. And Julio had his best month in his career home run-wise last month in May with 10. The previous record for Julio with most home runs in a month was 8, and he did it twice. So hopefully the hot streak can continue, as we go to the All-Star break. And again, the first time that Julio actually has been good in the first half of a season in his career. Took him 5 years, but he finally figured it out. 0-2 pitch, and fouls that back to the T-Mobile bricks on that 4-seam fastball by Devin Williams. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the 9th inning, we're tied at 2. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. O2 pitch. Julio with a little dribbler towards third and foul. No balls and 2 strikes from Williams to Julio. Come on, J-Rod. We need some of that Soto mojo. O2 pitch to Julio. And a line drive towards third and foul. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Got to find a way. Dig deep. You know, and again, it's been as even it could be. Come on, J-Rod. Come on, Julio. 0-2 pitch. High and away. Four-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour there by Devin Williams. Probably should have been strike 3, if I'm being honest. I mean, he painted the corner pretty close. Obviously, they brought up the pitch graph, and it showed it a little off compared to what we see on MLB.com or ESPN, but no challenge. 1-2 pitch. And that is big, swing and a miss. Exact same location as the previous pitch, except this time around, Julio swings and he misses. Nice punch out there for Devin Williams, and that is 1 up and 1 down. Next up is Victor Robles as Paisley comes in here to try to watch us win. Let's go, Victor. First pitch into Victor Robles. We have a challenge here. It's an 0-1 count. Let's see what happens. And it ends up being a ball. Good challenge there by Victor Robles, getting that call overturned. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 1-0 pitch, high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes from Devin Williams to Victor Robles. Victor Robles had his first walk-off in his career yesterday, and hopefully he'll be able to draw a walk or get on with a single here. 2-0 pitch. Ooh, high and away. Four-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour. Good patience here by Victor Robles. 3 balls, no strikes, nobody on, 1 out, bottom of the 9th. We're tied at 2, and we're just looking for a way to win 3-2 or 4-2 here in the bottom of the 9th. 3-0 pitch from Williams. Takes a strike right down the middle. Four-seam fastball, 92 miles an hour. 3 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 9th, tied at 2. Three-one pitch. Big swing and a miss. He was going for the moon. Changeup, 83 miles an hour there by Devin Williams. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Victor Robles. Devin Williams on the mound. Victor Robles in the box. 3-2 pitch. Little slow dribbler to third. Throw to first. Wow. Incredible play at third base by Beatty. To have the control at a ball going that fast at you, and then to be able to make that accurate throw to first, very impressive. 2 up and 2 down. All right, we have to have Randy be the hero again, and hopefully he'll be able to find a way. He got plunked in his first at-bat and then 0 for 2 after that. Let's see if the left fielder for the Mariners can be the hero here today for Seattle. Come on, Randy. First pitch to Randy, low and at the knees. And Terens is challenging, even though that clearly was a ball. 1-0 count. Come on, Randy. 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss, high and away. Four-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour there by Devin Williams. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. Randy has won us quite a few games, you know, with the home run and the RBI. And hopefully we can find another victory here. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss again, low and away this time around. Change up 85 miles an hour, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. 1-2 pitch, and that is strike 3. Damn. Williams just mowing down the Mariners there, and we're going to be going to extras now. Down goes Randy Arozarena, and that is the end of the 9th inning. And thankfully, Josh Naylor, ended up hitting up that home run in the bottom of the 7th inning. Otherwise, we would have lost this game 2-1. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mets as we go to the top of the 10th. We've had a lot of extra inning games lately. Next up for the Mets, in the 3-hole, left fielder Juan Soto. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a run, RBI, and a K, Jared Young. And batting third, 0 for 3 with 2 K, center fielder A.J. Ewing. Tridents up, let's go M's. 36 subs to go to 24,200. And we gained 4 more subs, appreciate that. 32 subs now to go to 24,200. We are approaching 6 million views on the channel. Hit that in a few days. Hit 5 million a few months back, so we're definitely trending in the right direction. We're at 40 on the Dono train, I believe, maybe higher than that, and we're at 254 on the likes. All right, we got 503 people in the room. If we can get 46 people out of the 503 that are in the room, we'll be at 300. Tridents up. Let's go M's. All right, we're at 45 on the Dono train. 55 to go. Wolf with $1. Every dollar counts. I appreciate you. Let's go. We're at 46 on the Dono train. 54 to go. All right, we got Gabe Spire now. Hopefully we get the good Gabe, not the bad. All right, come on, Gabe. Gabe on the mound. Gabe Spire on the mound. The Pat McAfee lookalike on the mound. Juan Soto in the box. First pitch from Spire. High and away. Sinker at 95 miles an hour hitting the corner. 0-1 count. Top of the 10th inning. We're knotted up at 2 with a runner at second and no outs. Come on, Spire. Let's go, Gabe. 0-1 pitch. Low and away. Slider 88 miles an hour. Missing. Maybe by a few inches. 1 ball and 1 strike to Juan Soto. 1-1 pitch. Popped up and out of play. Sinker. 96 miles an hour there by Gabe Spire. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Juan Soto. 1-2 pitch. Low and away. Slider missing there by Gabe Spire. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Juan Soto. Two pitch. And that is strike 3 looking. There we go. Froze Juan Soto, and you're not going to see Soto get frozen that often. Is he challenging? He's challenging. Oh, and he won the challenge. I was hoping that was going to be strike 3. Count now gets flipped to 3 balls and 2 strikes to Juan Soto. Good challenge there by Juan. Come on, Gabe, settle down. Time is called by Soto, not by Spire. Top of the 10th, runner at second with 1 out. And we have a full count here. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Spire to Soto. 3-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Got him. That's big. Nice job, Gabe. All right, Mark Vientos is pinch hitting now. So Jared Young is done, and Mark Vientos is pinch hitting here. First pitch, high and inside. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour there by Gabe Spire. 1-0 count. Spire on the mound. Mark Vientos in the box. One-0 pitch. Fouled off towards first base. Out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike from Spire to Vientos. Top of the 10th. Runner at second with 1 out. We're tied at 2. And obviously could have easily lost this game if Naylor didn't homer in the bottom of the 7th with a solo dinger. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Gabe Spire. 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner at second and top of the 10th inning. We're tied at 2. 2-1 pitch. And just got a little piece. Slider 85 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mark Vientos. Two pitch. Popped up into right field, hitting foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Spire to Vientos. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Two pitch, another hard hit ball into right field, fading foul. 97 miles an hour there by Gabe Spire. 4-seam fastball, sinker, 4-seam slider, 4-seam, 4-seam with the first 6 pitches in the arsenal here for Gabe so far. Judah in the building, what's good? Top of the 10th inning, runner at second with 1 out. We have a 6-game win streak on the line, sweeping the Athletics and the Diamondbacks, which was very impressive. The best baseball we've played all year in this 6-game stretch, and we're just trying to get 1 more victory. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Nice punch out there by Gabe. I like that, baby. Great job there by Gabe Spire, striking out Mark Vientos, and that is 2 up and 2 down. Next up for the Mets in the 5-hole, center fielder 0 for 3 with 2 Ks, but 2 diving grabs, robbing the Mariners of a couple doubles. A.J. Ewing, no relation to Patrick. First pitch into Ewing is in there for a strike looking. 0-1 count. Only 20 career games for A.J. Ewing, so he's definitely a young buck like Colt Emerson. Just new to the big leagues, 20 games in. 0-1 pitch from Spire, high and away. 4-seam fastball just missing the corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to A.J. Ewing. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour there by Spire, missing maybe by a half inch. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at second and 2 outs. 1-1 pitch, low and away. 4-seam fastball missing there by Gabe Spire. 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner at second and 2 outs. Two-one pitch. Big swing and a miss. Nasty pitch there by Gabe Spire. Finally dropping the sinker. Low and at the knees. 95 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes to A.J. Ewing. Let's go. And again, if Gabe can complete this half inning, it'll be one of the best half innings he's had in a minute. 2-2 pitch. Popped up and fading foul, out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner at second, 2 outs, tied at 2. Something's got to give. We got to find a way to win this game 3-2 in the bottom of the 10th. Come on, Gabe. Two-two pitch, fouled off, low and away. Count still remains 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second and 2 outs. Come on, Gabe. Two-two pitch, low and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Gabe Spire to A.J. Ewing. Sinker 96 miles an hour missing. Come on, Gabe, lock in. Three-two pitch. Popped up. Here we go. And Ewing slams the bat on the turf. J.P. Crawford is there. Let's go. Awesome job there by Gabe Spire. You know, and even though he was good there, he's not good enough to be our closer, more than likely. You know, we got Brash, and you got Ferrer, and you got Gabe Spire. I mean, you know, we know Mooney overall has been terrible, but he actually did a good job today. You know, he didn't give up a run. So now we have a chance to get the job done here. And let's see if we have the right individuals to give us a victory here. Next step for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a K. First baseman filling in for Naylor, Patrick Wisdom. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a walk. Second baseman, Cole Clutch Young. And batting third, the Italian Stallion, left fielder, Dominic Canzone. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Let's find a way to win this. Doesn't necessarily even have to be a walk-off home run. Obviously, that would be the most dramatic way that you could win, but 32 subs to go to 24,200. We gained 4 more. Appreciate you. 28 subs to go to 24,200. We're approaching 6 million views on the channel. And we're at 270 on the likes, I believe. 30 to go to get to 300. If we can just get 30 people out of the 618 that are in the room, we'll be at 300, which would be great. And I believe we're at 46. I think we need 54 more to hit the Dono goal. All right, Minter is coming in. All right, AJ Minter coming in. First pitch from AJ Minter to Patrick Wisdom, high and inside, 1-0 count. One 0 pitch, and Wisdom pops it up, and it's in foul territory. Luckily, hits the top of the Mariner dugout, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. From AJ Minter to Patrick Wisdom. The lefty on the mound, AJ Minter, and the righty for the Mariners, backup first baseman Patrick Wisdom in the box. One pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike to Patrick Wisdom. And we are one of the best teams in the MLB with walk-offs. So 2-1 pitch to Wisdom, low and at the knees. And if this is the meltdown that we've been waiting for, this would be fantastic. Take the walk if it's there. Three-one pitch. Big swing and a miss. Beautiful cutter there by AJ Minter. Cutter 87 miles an hour there by AJ Minter. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Patrick Wisdom. Take the walk if it's there, Pat. 3-2 pitch from Minter to Wisdom. Little dribbler towards third and foul. Cutter 88 miles an hour there by AJ Minter. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second with no outs. Bottom of the 10th. We're tied at 2, and we're looking for another walk-off win, which we got with Victor Robles yesterday. And it has been kind of a common theme for us in this 6-game win streak that we're on, sweeping the A's and sweeping the Diamondbacks. Coming into that series, the Diamondbacks were 10-1. So we definitely know what we're doing at this point of the season. Steps off the mound. And Randy is at second base, so we got someone that has enough speed to be able to get the job done. 3-2 pitch from Minter to Wisdom. Steps off the plate again. Boo! And you're definitely getting the boos from the crowd there. Three-two pitch from Minter to Wisdom. Take the walk. And Randy goes to third. And safe. So, I mean, essentially like a sac fly. But unfortunately, Wisdom wasn't able to get a hold of that. But great jump there by Randy. Now we got Randy at third with 1 out. Great job there by Randy Arosarena, our most consistent hitter. And he definitely has brought a little bit more hustle, to his game, stealing bags as well as running to first. Sometimes a little lazy in left field on ground balls. But next up is Cole Clutch Young. Let's see if we can get a winning RBI here by Cole Young. Let's go. First pitch is a ball, 1-0 count. Come on, Cole. Cutter outside, 88 miles an hour, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch from Minter. Young with a little blooper. Drop. Yes. Let's go. Randy comes home, and the Mariners win 3-2. Let's go. 7 games in a row. And again, Cole Clutch Young. There's a reason why we call him Clutch, because he's going to be clutch over and over and over again. Randy scoring from third, and another Mariner victory. 7 wins in a row. Can you believe it? With no Cal Raleigh, no Brandon Donovan, no fucking problem. Huge. What a win. Unbelievable. And I'm going to get into the stats here in just a moment for both teams. Wow. Unreal. We are so clutch. We are one of the top 3 teams, obviously in extra inning games and walk-offs. And Cole Young, I mean, what can you say? What a fucking stud. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win. Fuck yeah. 7 games in a row. Our highest win streak all year. Tridents up. Let's go, Mariners. Awesome. All right, let's go over the stats here early on. So the game started off with Colt Emerson homering to right, making it 1-0 in the third. And then we ended up getting Jared Young homering in the 5th, making it 1-1. And And then Marcus Semien hit a home run, and we started to feel the game slightly slip away, and they go up 2-1. But then Josh Naylor, he was really the hero other than Young, because he hit a home run in the bottom of the 7th, a solo dinger, and if he didn't tie the game up 2-2, we would have lost 2-1. There's no doubt in my mind. And then now in the bottom of the 10th with Randy at third, Cole clutch Young, singles to left, Randy scores, and we find a way to win in 10. So let's go over the stats now for both teams. All right, leadoff hitter, Carson Benj, 0 for 4. Bo Bichette, the former Blue Jay, 0 for 4. Juan Soto, 0 for 4. I like that. And then Jared Young, 1 for 3 with an RBI and home run. AJ Ewing, 0 for 4. MJ Melendez, 0 for 2. Brett Beatty, 0 for 3. Marcus Semien, 1 for 3 with a home run and an RBI. And then Luis Torrens, 0 for 3. And then let's take a look at the Mariners. JP Crawford, 0 for 4. Julio Rodriguez, 0 for 4. Josh Naylor, 1 for 3 with an RBI and that clutch home run in the 7th to help us tie the game up. Big hero. Randy Arosarino, 0 for 3 with a run and got hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Luke Raley, 0 for 2. Cole Young, 2 for 3 with the game-winning RBI. Rob Refsnyder, 0 for 2. Mitch Garver, 0 for 3. And Colt Emerson, 1 for 3 with an RBI and a home run as well. So again, you just never know, who are going to be the heroes for us. But to be able to see Colt Emerson and Cole Young really being like deciding factors in games. I mean, we got, JP Crawford and Julio and Randy and Josh Naylor and Luke Raley. And that's great, to be able to have that presence, on our team. But it's also about the young guns, with Young and obviously Emerson, and then eventually Ryan Sloan and Cade Anderson as pitchers. When we add them to the team in the future, I'm going to be really excited. But again, we're playing our best baseball of the year, 7-game win streak. And can you believe it, Mariner fans? We are 3 games above 500. And for the longest time, we were below 500 and it fucking stung over and over again. And we're really finding our rhythm, and we're doing it, with no Cal and obviously with no Brendan Donovan. But wow, incredible. Incredible. Let's go. Appreciate every single one of you. Man, what a game. And then obviously I'll be live tomorrow, same time, same place. And that'll be at 6:40 Pacific, I believe. And then we'll have a early afternoon game. Usually the third game is around noon or 1. I believe it's around 12:10-ish. Obviously we'll go over that, tomorrow as well. But man, it just feels so good to see, Cole Young and Colt Emerson not just get called up, right? But also to be, deciding factors and wins, like actually stepping up and playing great defense and great offense. And man, it feels really, really good. I took care of it. Anytime you end up, getting, the haterade out, we'll definitely make sure we fix that. So, well, I appreciate every single person that liked, donated, commented, and shared. Jolly with the $5 to start us off. Chris with a 20 to help out with the Paisley Pup Vet Fund that I had to go to the vet again today to get some medication for Paisley. Shout out to Dank with the $5, Rebecca with the $5, Mando with a $5, Wolf with the $1, and then we ended up getting Velasco with a $5 as well. So, man, 7-game win streak. It feels good being a Mariner fan now, and I kept trying to tell everyone when things were going bad that eventually things will turn around for us. It's not going to be bad for the whole year. And again, 2.5 games up in the division coming into this game. And if we can continue, this hot streak, eventually we'll be 3 games up, 4 games up, 5 games up, and we won't look back. And we know the White Sox are good this year with Munetaka Murakami, even though he's on the IL now with the hamstring, but he gave that team an identity. They're good this year, the White Sox. They might make the playoffs. The Guardians are playing well, right? We know that the Yankees and the Rays have been the best in the American League, but sooner rather than later, we're slowly going to be able to catch up to the Guardians and the White Sox record-wise, and then eventually get to that Yankee and Rays level at some point after the All-Star break, considering how many wins they have over losses. And if you're looking at the win-loss, runs scored, the plus-minus, the Mariners are actually number 2 with the plus-minus based on runs scored and runs given up. The only team that's got, more than us, I believe, is the Yankees, and we even have more than the Rays. So things are going very, very well. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And again, another amazing victory for the Seattle Mariners. Final score, Mariners 3, Mets 2 in 10. And I got one question for you. Who talks sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Tridents up and go Mariners.